The following is a Learfield presentation of the Washington State Sports Network. This is the Cougar Basketball Hour on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield. Tonight's show is brought to you by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is a proud supporter of Cougar athletics. Together, there's nothing as powerful as the power of us. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Tonight's show is also brought to you by Zappos, where the Palouse comes to play and eat. Now with Coach Kamie Ethridge, here's your host, Steve Grubbs.
Well, hello and welcome in, everybody, as we are here in Zappos in Pullman, and it is time for the Cougar Basketball Hour with head coach of Washington State University women's basketball, Kamie Ethridge, as the Cougars coming off of a couple of wins in the Bay Area, 74-58 over San Francisco, 74-47 over Santa Clara, and with that, 7-2 in West Coast Conference play, and a very nice weekend for you and your Cougars in the Bay Area.
That weekend felt good. It felt good. Not about San Francisco, not about the weather. We'll take Pullman weather anytime, but the winds definitely made us feel good.
Yeah, I mean, not only wins, but 2 wins going away where you guys played really well for the most part through 40 minutes in each game. And I think I got lost a little bit in the 2 broadcasts, the fact that you guys had some great scoring performances and 74 points apiece, but allowing 47 and 58 defensively, something you guys have done all season long on the defensive end. Sometimes we get all caught up in the offensive numbers, but you guys got it done defensively too, and that helped, especially in the first quarter against San Francisco and the second quarter against the Santa Clara Broncos. That defense combined with your offense really provided the separation that we needed, and it ended up with again, wins going away for us.
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's true. I mean, honestly, I thought San Francisco, they're a little beat up. Their leading scorer went down with a knee, and it makes them a little less dangerous. But we really were on point in how to guard them. We have big bodies that can guard, their best player, Worth, and we really gave her a lot of trouble. And for the most part, we let some drives and penetrations and get into the rim a little bit in the second half, but, started that game so well. I mean, just what was it, 25 points in that first quarter was huge, and really a lot of people played, a lot of people got good minutes. That was great. And then the second game, obviously having lost to Santa Clara before, we had the attention of our players, but you never know how they'll do. Generally, human nature is you win a game, you let up, the other team loses the next game, and they're hungry. And we just talked about that. But at the same time, they beat us the first time. So if you weren't going to be mad about playing them the next game, then there was something wrong with you. But talk about just taking them out of it. Again, did something different. We went big on their point guard, so all those ball screens in the middle of the floor, we could just switch back, and it just bamboozled them a little bit. We like that word. We bamboozled them a little bit with that makeup, and that's only because we've just got really big, long guards and wings, and we could get away with doing that. But it sure showed how big we can be sometimes against some of these opponents, and that really helped us in that win at Santa Clara.
Again, 2 wins in the Bay Area. Now we get ready for a home game coming up. We'll talk a little bit more about the schedule, talk some more about the 2 games as well. Again, always great to be here at Zappos. Again, fun to see all the fans once again out to join us. And also Zappos is doing something special today too. They're giving out raffle tickets for everybody. And what they're raffling off is a certificate good for up to 10 people on 2 lanes for 2 hours of bowling with shoes, 2 pizzas, and 2 bottomless cups of sodas.
You mean we didn't have to buy the raffles? Those were just given.
They're just handing them out.
Talk about
Absolutely.
a deal. That's awesome.
Very nice of Zappos.
Yeah, appreciate that. That's great. We'll do that. Candy can do that a little bit later.
Yeah, so make sure you get your raffle ticket, and we'll draw a winner coming up during the show. And again, our thanks to Zappos, not only for that, but obviously for all that they do for hosting these Cougar Basketball Hours. And again, great to be here. Again, 2 wins. Again, Washington State over San Francisco and over Santa Clara. And I think the other thing that was really promising about these 2 wins for you is let's give a hand to the players and Lori Kane, who just walked in through the doors.
Lori doesn't matter, but those 2 players do.
Yeah,
That's
we will
awesome.
talk to Candace Petticoat coming up, and Dee just walked in with her as well. And speaking of which, how about your post presence this weekend?
Yes.
Alex Colville, Candace Pettick, who obviously does some things defensively inside. She does some stuff all over the court offensively. But how about your post play this weekend in the 2 wins?
Well, I mean, I don't know if Candace can hear me because sometimes it's hard to hear back there. But, you know, when she decides to play, which sometime last week she decided to play. And she's shown glimpses of it. And honestly, you know, night and day, her practices last week leading up to it, her showing up on game day, her energy, her focus, her explosiveness, her decision-making, her scoring ability, her defense. You know, she's going to mess up a scout still. She can't help herself there every once in a while. But I'm just telling you, it's like a light bulb came on, and I don't know what it was other than maybe, you know, when your butt hits the bench, it sends messages to your brain. Have y'all ever seen that Bobby Knight story? And then the brain tells your butt the only way you're going to get off the bench is by playing harder. I think something happened, and that translated. And I'm telling you, but I'm the honest to goodness, if we have that Candace that shows up, the sky's the limit for us because it just gives us so much power inside. And, again, just she's a tremendous talent who has a long way to go she's going to be fantastic by the end, but she can immediately affect the game and make us better every single time she steps on the court. So the challenge is for her is to taste a little success and keep showing up hungry and keep showing up and wanting to be a difference maker on the court because she was in the last week she's been as good as she's ever been and consistent and everything we need her to be.
Yeah, I got in a little bit of foul trouble against San Francisco, but I mean 7 out of 9 from the floor in the 2 games, ended up with nearly a double-double against Santa Clara when she stayed out of foul trouble, 10 points and 8 rebounds, and it just opens things up for everything else when you can get that post presence as well. I mean, we didn't shoot the ball well against Santa Clara, but at the same time, we didn't let that affect us because we were able to go inside to Alex. And Alex, by the way, 21 points. How about her performance in the win over the Santa Clara Broncos? She was fantastic. And then even though we didn't shoot the ball well from 3, we were still able to come away with a win over a tough Santa Clara team that, again, knocked us off the first time we played them.
Well, we just keep talking about, I mean, when you turn on the TV and you watch all the best teams out there, the best teams find different ways to win. And we've been very one-dimensional, you know, and everybody's talked about us. The only time we win is if we make threes. Well, that's an example of we won easily not making threes. So we're getting better defensively. We're getting better rebounding the ball. We're getting, you know, much more of a presence. You know, when we can be big across the line, when you can put Dee in there and Tara and Candace and have the big wings, I mean, all of a sudden the defense just turns up the heat and you can dominate there. You know, it's just, but that's a good sign for us. We're gonna keep shooting the ball, and the ball's gonna go in some, but you can't depend on that. You got to work for great shots, and again, overall, we didn't shoot the ball bad, so we didn't depend on the 3-point shot, which is another good thing for us because we can be successful in so many ways. Yeah,
47% overall from the floor against Santa Clara, held them to just 28%. Again, end up with a big victory over the Santa Clara Broncos. So the Cougars, again, 7-2, tied with Gonzaga, atop the West Coast Conference. It was a 5-way tie when we were talking last week. Now it's a 2-way tie at the top of the West Coast Conference. So now the job is to get to be a 1-team ahead of the conference, and that would be us, right?
That's right. That's right. Their coach, Santa Clara, said, I guess it's Separation Saturday, and in some ways, it's always Separation Saturday, right? It's just like any day of the week, you got to find ways to separate yourself, and that's our challenge. Yeah,
we will talk more with Kamie Ethridge. We're just getting things started here this evening. Again, make sure you get your raffle ticket. We'll have Candace draw out a winner coming up a little bit later on in the show. We'll talk with Candace, obviously, for a couple of segments as well, so looking forward to that. Again, so happy to have you with us from Zeppo's. It's a Monday night, Kamie Ethridge Cougar Basketball Hour, and we're back after this from Learfield.
Spokane International Airport is a proud sponsor of Washington State University Athletics. The airport connects Cougar fans and alums with over 50 daily departures to 18 nonstop destinations provided by 6 major airlines, as well as one-stop connections to most major metropolitan centers throughout the U.S. Real-time arrival and flight departure information is available at SpokaneAirports.net. Spokane International Airport, when it's time to fly.
the tradition, the rivalries. Sirius XM is your destination for all things college sports, and we've got you covered. On Pac-12 Radio, there is complete coverage of every school in the conference, including live games, plus 24/7 talk and analysis. So cheer along on the Sirius XM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of Sirius XM free. Subscribe now. See offer details at SiriusXM.com/Pac-12 Sports.
Hi, I'm Kyle Thornton, linebacker and captain of your Washington State University Cougar football team. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, I recommend my friend and supporter, Krista Gross. She is a 3-time Realtor of the Year and a big fan of Cougar athletics. The only thing she enjoys more than supporting the Cougs is providing excellent service. Check her Google reviews to see how much her clients love her. You can find her online at KristaGross.com. That's Krista with a K, KristaGross.com. Go Cougs!
This is my barbershop. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
Welcome to the Pullman Man Shop, Pullman's #1 barbershop, where our seasoned barbers give you precision haircuts, buzz cuts, and straight razor shaves so sharp when we're done, your face will look like the day you were born. While we're working on that dome of yours, enjoy free shuffleboard, free pool, free arcade games, and ATVs. That's right, maggot. You can play while we turn that head of hair into something presentable. We'll fix it. Can't and won't are not words we'll use. The Pullman Man Shop, 1025 East Main. Visit themanshops.com.
Well, we welcome you back to Zeppos. It is the Cougar Basketball Hour with head coach of Washington State University women's basketball, Kamie Ethridge. Don't forget, Cougar Nation, each time you bring your Toyota vehicle to be serviced at a local and participating Toyota dealership, you can receive a premium Washington State giveaway item as a member of the Toyota Rewards Program. To join the program, it's easy. Visit WSUCougars.com/Toyota Rewards. Well, we always take questions for the coach. If you want to submit yours, we've got some slips of paper up here and pens. You can come on up and write down your question either for coach or for Candace, the player, and we'll get them out there. And how about this one? Congrats on the 2 outstanding games. Alex, among others, really played well. Do you think the teams in the West Coast Conference will have to start thinking about constant double and triple teaming Alex to slow down her scoring ability?
Yeah, yes. And, I mean, overall, both Candace as well, or any post, I think so much of it is, you know, you can throw it in at certain spots on the floor and you make it easier for teams to double. But it's really hard to double team someone that does a straight-on pass, like just a duck in into the post, and they're kind of at the top and they're entering the ball that way. It's hard to double team that. You throw it to them when they're on the wing, you're likely to get a lot more double teams. So we have to be smart of you know, putting them in good position and not letting them get double teamed. They have to be really good and agile and know that double teams are coming and find ways to get the ball out, because clearly if they can get it out, we're going to get wide open shots. I think you'll see that against Portland. I think they'll very much send 2 people at the post and make it difficult for the post to score inside, and that just means you got to get the ball in and out.
Yeah, and the other thing with Alex, too, is she's gotten some in transition, too. She's run the ball and run the court pretty well for you, so when she gets that early presence in the post and we get the ball to her, it makes it easier for her to score, and she's capitalized on that the last handful of games.
We've just made a big emphasis, and she's just taken that to heart. Just first 5 or 6 or 7 seconds of offense is really just her trying to rim run and pick a side. It doesn't matter which side it is. We want to look for her on both sides of the floor if we reverse it. Again, Candace, too, you don't have to demand. So often our posts and young posts go to ball side, and then they get pushed off, and they catch it at 6 feet off the lane. And then what are you going to do? You're going to dribble. And then when you dribble, they double team, or they go, you know, they rake in and get the ball. So we want to make them guard the rim or the other side of the floor. And Alex has really gotten some easy baskets just on over-the-top passes right to her. Against Portland, I think we'll see a press almost always, and it's like if we can get out of that press and she's, you know, the height that we have back there, or even against their zone, I think we can throw over the top of their zones and some of their presses. So if we can handle the early part, I think we'll get some good looks. And those posts, if the posts keep working, I think they're going to get some easy ones.
She had a career-high 21 points against Santa Clara, and I think it was a little bit of a two-pronged effect against the Santa Clara Broncos. One, she played really well And two, we saw that she played well the first matchup against Santa Clara, so maybe a little bit of self-scouting to make sure she was a little bit more involved. And then also, you guys kind of made it an emphasis to attack the rim early on in that game against Santa Clara, didn't you?
Right. Yes. I mean, I think, just really, I think everybody's better the second time around of adjusting to what you did, what your calls are, how you're going to guard people. I think we made a strategic just thought through how we were going to guard those ball screens that gave us so much trouble the first time, and had a couple of options of what we wanted to do. And, it just, we really just dialed in and really knew Santa Clara does not have post presence defensively like Gonzaga and Portland. They're not that good at post defenders. So we knew our post game would have their way if we let them have room to work and got it to them in the right spots, and they did the work. So it was very intentional to get the ball inside, and it's not just them. It's all of our wings and and anyone that can run the first post down. And then the other part of that is keep them busy there, and then you've got guards that can drive an open block. So we've got a lot of good weapons on our team.
Well, the other thing, too, with that win against San Francisco, and really in both games, I mean, you can take a look at the scoring side of things, and you brought it up in the post-game show against Santa Clara. I mean, Estera Tahina didn't score very much this weekend, but she played well this weekend. She got the ball to those players. She has been remarkable in distributing the ball so far for you this season. Tara Wallach didn't score much for you Saturday, but what a job she did for you Saturday defensively for this group in that matchup, guarding their best player, I think was Maddie Narrow that she was on for the most part, and she was able to make an impact there. LA does the LA type thing. So again, there's so much involved in this game other than scoring, and we sometimes get caught up in the scoring. But I mean, talk a little bit about what you've seen out of Estera Tahina when it comes to distributing the basketball, and then about your two leaders in LA and also in Tara Wallach.
It really is a message that we constantly, and I think after the Santa Clara game, looking at some of those stats that you talked about. I mean, AT plays 26 minutes, almost 27 minutes, and takes one shot, and has 8 rebounds and 5 assists and no turnovers. I mean, for all and it was really a message to the young players. They are very much think they have to score if they're playing. And, our older players are really they're the calming effect on the court because they're not pressing and they're not forcing plays, and they're letting the game happen in front of them, and they're making plays for themselves and others. Again, I think Tara was sick to her stomach as to how she played and some of the shots she took the first time against Santa Clara, and she was not going to do it again. And she hasn't done it since then. She's made such an effort to, draw people in and get easy baskets for other people if she can't score herself. So those guys are examples of how you need to play, of letting the game come to you and not forcing too much. But it's a message as much for those players, and that we appreciate that, but it's a message really for the younger players to understand. I mean, it's beautiful basketball when you share the ball.
How about defensively, what we've seen out of a couple of freshmen? We see D, and obviously Diana Mendez is here tonight and has such athletic ability, but what about what she has brought to the table for you defensively? And then also Marta Elzina, who comes in for you and just covers people up and does things well so far for you defensively.
Yeah, I mean, again, part of our growth is just the growth of all our young players defensively, and really the young players have made us a better defensive team this year than we've been in the past. I mean, their bodies are bigger and longer, more athletic in so many positions, can guard, we can switch things, and they can guard posts. Dee is in a unique situation. Obviously, we're still nursing her back, and she doesn't always, her knees are still a work in progress, and so she's not getting great training to work on her own individual game, yet is finding ways to get into games and still affect the game. So it's a credit to her that she just is soaking in as much as she can, kind of sometimes not always on the court, but her ability to guard the ball, her ability to guard any position on the floor, her quick hands, talk about sometimes we're like we have a pick and roll coverage, and then there's just like the D pick and roll coverage, and just like do whatever you want and we'll all figure out what you're doing, and because it's so effective. Like no one's like D when she jumps out and guards or switches a ball screen or something. I mean, she brings a part of the game that it's almost like we have to adjust to her, because she can get steals, she can create turnovers. And, again, Marta, too, lockdown defender. Nobody can really get by him. Nobody really can get by Dee. I mean, it looks like she's beat, and she always catches up. I mean, just some and again, they don't know hardly anything, but they just play hard, and they're competitive, and they want to win, and they're getting better every day. They're in the gym.
You guys continue having block parties night in and night out. You guys have more block shots than any other team in the country in women's basketball. You have more block shots than any men's basketball team in the country.
That is just shocking. I can't even believe that stat.
You're I think third when it comes to blocks per game, because we played a couple more games than a couple other teams. But how about that stat, being tops in the country in block shots per game or total blocks?
I'm just shocked by it, and I don't know that translates to anything. I honestly don't. You know how it is. For a while there, we were, what was it, Matt? How do you say it? 93rd percentile, or do you say third percentile? For when you're bad. Third. We were the third percentile of defending the three. Uh-huh. So that's not a good stat when there's only like 10 teams worse than you at defending the three. But we were blocking shots. No wonder we're blocking all the shots and not guarding the three-point line. I don't know that that's always the best strategy, but I think we're figuring out the three-point line, and I still think we're blocking some shots. So as long as we do both, I think I'll live with continuing to block shots. Okay. But I'm also a little worried about other phases of our defense. So I'm excited about that, but that's not the only thing I want us to be known for this year.
Absolutely. Again, the Cougars coming off a couple of wins. Kamie Ethridge joining us. Again, don't forget, you can get yourself a raffle ticket a little bit later on the show. 20 minutes or so, we'll be pulling out a raffle ticket winner, and you can perhaps win a night of bowling on 2 lanes for up to 10 people. You get some pizza. You get some bottomless sodas. Should be a fun time at Zeppo's if you want to grab that raffle ticket. We'll have Candace pull out a raffle winner. Sound good?
Let's do it.
All right. Don't forget also Thursday night, Beasley Coliseum. We want to see you, the Portland Pilots, good basketball team, coming to town. Let's have a home court advantage at Beasley Coliseum. 6 o'clock, your tip-off time on Thursday. We'll have more with the head coach a little bit later on in the hour, but let's bring up Candace next.
Candy's up.
All right, we'll bring up Candace. She'll come up in just a couple of minutes right here. It's the Cougar Basketball Hour from Zeppo's, and it's from Learfield.
Nothing works up an appetite like cheering for your Cougs on game day. So why not cheer them on at Northern Quest with an impressive roster of restaurants and lounges? You can tackle the menu at Epic and catch every play on the 10 by 30-foot screen. Or grab a steak at Maslow's, a fine cigar at Legends of Fire, even a burger from Fat Burger. You know, for your inner linebacker. See more at northernquest.com. Go Cougs!
Hey, Coug fans! Can't decide what to do with your late-night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppo's. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and, of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppo's is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppo's.
Looking sharp has never been this much fun. Pullman's #1 barbershop, the Pullman Man Shop, is more than just haircuts. It's an experience. Our seasoned barbers deliver precision haircuts, buzz cuts, and real straight razor hot towel shaves that'll leave you looking and feeling your absolute best. And while you're here, enjoy free shuffleboard, free pool, and free arcade games. WSU students and faculty receive 20% off any service every Thursday. Step into the Pullman Man Shop at 1025 East Main, where style meets good times. Walk-ins only. themanshops.com.
Hi, I'm Washington State University Cougar Baseball. I'm going to tell Krista Gross, a big supporter of mine. She's someone who's always there helping me without being asked. Krista makes sure I have what I need to succeed, and she'll do the same thing for you. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, trust someone with a big heart and a winning track record. Find her online at KristaGross.com. That's Krista with a K. KristaGross.com.
I'm Krista Gross, your lifelong realtor. Find me online at KristaGross.com. That's Krista with a K, KristaGross.com.
Go Cougs.
Well, we welcome you back here to Zeppos. Again, we are with you for the hour, the Cougar Basketball Hour, with head coach Kamie Ethridge and also Candace Pettigrew going to be joining us, redshirt freshman post player for the Washington State University Cougars. So we'll get her to step on up and grab some headsets. Make sure you stay on the stage, and there's a little bit of room back there. And we hope you don't mind, Candace, but we've put the honor of you of drawing the raffle prize winner a little bit later. Does that sound okay for you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Candace is with us. You heard Kamie talk about you and the way you played in practice. Has it felt a little bit like maybe a light bulb has come on for you? Obviously, you spent the team with the Cougars redshirting last season. Now into your redshirt freshman season. How has this season gone for you? And do you feel like you've made significant strides over the last week or so?
Yeah, just like coaches mentioned, I just been going like on and off. Like sometimes I'm really like good and like very sharp, like on edge, and then there's other time when I'm just like kind of like I forget to like be like more focused at practice and like give it my best. And so now I feel like I'm just like starting to like try to like remain consistent throughout like practices, games, and like just be ready because we just have like what six weeks left of games, so just it's time.
Getting into the stretch run, absolutely. Yeah. You're picking a great time to really start playing well, and you certainly did play well this week. And I know a little bit of foul trouble. I thought you got picked on a little bit by the officials a little bit, but we won't get into too much of that. But you played really well in the time that you were out on the court. Was there something that was going especially well for you when it comes to this weekend, as far as a certain move, a certain play, or was it just, you think, just more focus and more being just ready to go for this weekend?
Yeah, so I've been like getting like worked in with like Lori early morning before we start like team practices, and just like kind of like focusing on like getting better and like allowing myself to like be more confident and like trusting in my ability as a player, and I feel like that helped me a lot to like be ready for these two games.
How are practices like, and going up against the practice guys? Does that really get you guys ready to go for these games?
Oh, yes, 100%. I feel our guys are really nice, you know. They are like out there pushing us. We have like people like Manny that are just like incredible players, like handle the balls really well. So every time we need somebody that's like a good ball handler, like that can put pressure on our guards, like you have someone like Manny. And we also have like really great post players like Brian and Charles. They're always there to like, they're not afraid to like put their body and like really like help you be more like aggressive. And I'm just like so like grateful for them because like they do it out of like their own like will, like, so they're really nice, and like they help us a lot with like scouting the players and getting prepared for like the games.
How was it this weekend watching not only you, but Alex doing her work inside, watching Dee do her stuff that she does inside, and watching you guys control the paint in both of these two games?
Yeah, I remember when we were playing Santa Clara, I was just on the bench and cheering, and then I look at the scoreboard and I saw that Alex had like 19 points. And I look at Zach Arthur and I was like, she's at 19 right now. And he was like, yeah. This one's like, so like she need like more and more to like be like career high. And they were like, yeah. And then she was in the court, and at some point she was posting up like really big, and the guards were like, you know, trying to like get open and like finding ways to like get her the ball inside. And she finally got it, and I was like, I need one, Alex. I need one bucket. And she like finally made it, and she got 21 points. I was so hyped. Like, I'm just really happy for her because I always like, you know, last year her and I, we've been like practicing together with Bella, and like Bella's been like really good and like showing us really how to be like more aggressive. And I feel like Alex is somebody, we all been telling her that if she really get that like confidence that she's 6'7". And I remember we had a meeting with coach, like the whole team, and me and Dee were telling her like, Alex, if you take your elbows out, like nobody wants to come near you. Like just get those elbows out and like go up and score. And like I'm super happy for her. Like she's come such a long way. She's like keep improving, keep getting more comfortable in her game, and I'm just really happy for her.
And that bench exploded when she got that bucket to get up and over 20, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome to see. Speaking of this team, again, you were part of the team last season. So many newcomers to this team, so many international players on this team. How cool is it to be on this team this season with all the new players and also all the international flavor that comes with it?
I just love our little freshies. One of the reasons why I came to WSU was because last year we had so many international players, and I knew that it was just we all just understood each other. We're all gonna be there for each other, and that's also something that we carry on as like our older seniors left. We kind of they left us with like a legacy that we had to keep on like making everybody like feel comfortable. And I feel like we really grew like together, like a bond with like the freshmen, especially us being like a younger like returners, and then also being like younger players. It's just like so fun. We have we have like a lot of crazy stories, just like fun stuff that Martha, Alice, just a bunch of like jokester, and like me as a very extroverted person, so I feel like so happy to be around like this type of person, because they just make your life like happier every day.
Might get into a little bit of that next segment, but let's start first, as you mentioned, international flavor. When did you start playing basketball, and what was your basketball journey that took you here to Washington State University?
So, fun story. I used to play soccer before I started playing basketball. I was a goalie.
Really?
And yeah, I feel like, as I don't know, some of you might know, I'm from Africa, and like everybody started with soccer at some point in Africa. It's one of a very popular sports over there. And one day, my dad just came from like a work travel that he had. He came back home with like a pair of shoes, a pair of basketball, and like jersey. And he was like, "Yeah, you're not playing soccer anymore. You're gonna start playing basketball." And I was just like, "Oh, okay." And growing up, it's been really like tough for me, like feeling comfortable with like my height. I was like made fun of a lot at school, and I feel like when I started playing basketball, everybody was just like so envious of my height. They were like, "Oh my gosh, I wish I was this tall." And so basketball really helped me like kind of like feel more comfortable around myself, and like accepting myself like that I'm like just tall and it's okay.
Yeah, so we might have to, Cougar Nation might have to send your dad a thank you note if you keep growing your game, though you've been growing it. And so again, it's fantastic to see that. Now you played high school basketball in California, is that right? And some club basketball there as well. So what was that like playing there? And then what about the jump to Division I and redshirting last season and then playing this season as a redshirt freshman?
Yeah. So I got a scholarship to play at St. Joseph High School in California. And obviously, even when I was there, I didn't play my freshman year. I had to like CIF role, so I wasn't able to play my first year there as well. But after my sophomore year, I started playing basketball, and again, like it was also like we had a really good team. We won CIF Division III championship, and it was a very good culture as well. Like I loved my teammate. I had really fun in high school, and also jumping to like playing AAU. It's crazy. Like when I got my offers from WSU, they came to see one of my other teammates. They didn't came to see me. They came to see one of my teammates. Her name was Avery Kane. And I guess when they came to the practice, that's where they found me. They were like, "Who is this girl?" And after the practice, the coach, she kind of waved at me, and I waved back. And then the next weekend on the Saturday, they called me, and they were like, "How do you think about like coming to WSU and play for our program?" And it was amazing. It was my first ever D1 offer. It didn't even come out of playing AAU. It was just high school practice.
Wow.
And I just got my first D1 offer. And since then, there's just been like consistent throughout the whole recruiting process. They will come to my game. They will write me a letter. They will call me, check in on my parents back home, my family back home. And I just feel like that should show you like they don't just want you as a player. They just like actually like want you as a person, and like that's like a program that like will care for you as a person and not only a player.
Family.
Yeah, a family.
Absolutely. All right. Great to have Candace Petico. You're going to stick with us for one more segment. Is that okay?
Yeah.
We'll have her for one more segment. Candace, how about giving her a hand? She's doing great up here, isn't she? We'll be back after this. It is your Cougar Basketball Hour with Kamie Ethridge and Candace Petico. Again, it's right here from Zeppos, and it's on Learfield.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill, because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Calling all Coug fans. While the Cougars are busy taking home the win this season, you can download the McDonald's app and take home our new Game Day Bundle. Big enough to feed the whole squad. Get 20 golden, juicy chicken McNuggets, plus 2 medium orders of the world-famous fries you love, all for just $11.99. Talk about a winning combination. Must opt into rewards at participating McDonald's. Valid through 2024-25 basketball season. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hi, I'm Kyle Thornton, linebacker and captain of your Washington State University Cougar football team. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, I recommend my friend and supporter, Krista Gross. She's a 3-time Realtor of the Year and a big fan of Cougar athletics. The only thing she enjoys more than supporting the Cougs is providing excellent service. Check her Google reviews to see how much her clients love her. You can find her online at KristaGross.com. That's Krista with a K. KristaGross.com. Go Cougs!
This is my barbershop. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
Welcome to the Pullman Man Shop, Pullman's #1 barbershop, where our seasoned barbers give you precision haircuts, buzz cuts, and straight razor shaves so sharp when we're done, your face will look like the day you were born. While we're working on that dome of yours, enjoy free shuffleboard, free pool, free arcade games, and ATVs. That's right, maggot. You can play while we turn that head of hair into something presentable. We'll fix it. Can't and won't are not words we'll use. The Pullman Man Shop, 1025 East Main. Visit themanshops.com.
Calling all Coug fans.
Well, we do welcome you back. We are here at Zeppo's, and again, our thanks to Zeppo's not only for hosting us for each of these Cougar basketball hours. Do want to make a quick programming note to everybody. We come to you Monday nights throughout the season. Monday night, we're playing Oregon State and Corvallis. So as much as we try, we can't be in 2 places at once. We won't be here Monday night next week, but we will be here Wednesday night. So make your plans to join us Wednesday, January the 29th. So go ahead, pull out the calendars. We'll keep you updated throughout the radio broadcasts and social media and all of that as well. But again, it'll be Wednesday the 29th for our next show after tonight. So again, we'll be in Corvallis Monday. We're getting ready for a big stretch of basketball, Candace. I think it's 5 games in 9 days. Do you like playing that much, or would you rather have a little more time off, or do you kind of get into the groove of it?
I feel like you get used to it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, we got a couple of questions for you. You ready for this one?
Yep.
All right, we will start with this one. Who is the best dancer on the team?
Me.
Okay. She says modestly, which is fine. Absolutely. Me. All right.
I'll say, me, or like, I think maybe D and LA. We make a lot of TikToks. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, who's your favorite person to make a TikTok with?
I would probably say LA. We started off like freshman year together. And now she's more TikTok famous than me, even though I was the one that pushed her to get TikTok, but that's fine. Happy for her.
Okay. I saw the players. Where are we at with TikTok? I saw the players. Is it going to stick around? Do we know about we got a little bit of a reprieve, didn't it? It's still around?
Yeah. It was like banned for like 10 hours.
10 hours or so? Everyone on the plane was going nuts because it was disappearing on us.
Yes, I was having a hard time. I was telling Lori I was going through it.
Yeah. Do you have do you do dances on it? What do you do mainly on the TikTok?
Yeah, I like to do a lot of TikTok dances, or also like just like fun stuff, like posting fun stuff, pictures.
Do you have a famous one?
Yes, I have like a one that I did with LA and Jenna Villa, where that was the only one that had that like kind of blew up, and had a lot of likes from it. But yeah,
love it. Also got this one, Candace. Will your family ever get to come to Pullman or on the road to see you play?
I've been like talking to my parents about it. They were saying that they were gonna like try to like ever come to America and like watch me play, and I think it will be like cool to like have them come here and like watch me play at some point. But yeah, I think it's gonna happen hopefully one day.
Did you know anything about Pullman before they recruited you? And then what's your experience been like in Pullman?
No, I didn't know anything about Pullman. I remember my athletic director telling me that are you sure you want to go there, because it's very cold, like it snows and all, and I was like, yeah. And my town, when I'm from like California, is Santa Maria. It's also a pretty small town, like where everybody is like community related. So I was like, it doesn't really bother me that it's a small town because I've been living in a small town, and I prefer a small town because. So yeah, I didn't know anything about it, but it's still I like it here.
Again, Washington State University coming off of a couple wins in the Bay Area. How fun is it to win on the road? You guys have played really well on the road so far this season. You guys have taken care of business. Do you like going on these road trips and taking care of business and beating teams on their home court?
Yes, I feel like it's one of the greatest feeling, is not the best, because like it's one thing that being a little like stressed, but also when you get in it and like you see all this crowd that is there to like cheer for the other team, and you're here like beating that team, it's just like it's just another type of feeling that like beats up all the like stress that you have like coming in the game.
Absolutely. Again, Washington State coming off of a couple of wins. Candace Pettigrew, everybody, let's give her a big hand. She was joining us. We'll take a break, and then when we come back, we'll see if we can get the raffle tickets up here and have you draw out a winner, and we'll find out who goes to the pizza party courtesy of Zeppo's. Again, it is your Cougar Basketball Hour with Kamie Ethridge, and we'll talk to the head coach next right here. It's your Cougar Basketball Hour from Learfield.
Do you ever pay attention to overhead power lines? If you're like most people, you don't, but you should, especially when you're working up on a roof or carrying a ladder outdoors. Kids who climb trees and fly kites and adults with drones need to watch out for power lines too. And on the off chance that you find a downed power line, stay at least 10 feet away and quickly call 911 and Avista. Always pay attention to power lines. It's your best line of defense. Avista, we just want you to be safe.
Bro, you go hard for the WSU Cougs.
What do you mean?
You're literally wearing a Coug jersey that you bought from the Coug store with your Coug debit card. And you don't stop talking about how every time you use your card, Visa donates to the Cougar Athletic Fund.
I guess I do go pretty hard for my Cougs.
If you go hard for your Cougs, get your WSU card today at Gisa.com. Go Cougs!
This is my barbershop. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
Welcome to the Pullman Man Shop, Pullman's #1 barbershop, where our seasoned barbers give you precision haircuts, buzz cuts, and straight razor shaves so sharp when we're done, your face will look like the day you were born. While we're working on that dome of yours, enjoy free shuffleboard, free pool, free arcade games, and ATVs. That's right, Maggot. You can play while we turn that head of hair into something presentable. We'll fix it. Can't and won't are not words we'll use. The Pullman Man Shop, 1025 East Main. Visit themanshops.com.
Ohio State or Notre Dame?
Hi,
Football
I'm
man.
Kyle Thornton, linebacker and captain of your Washington State University Cougar football team. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, I recommend my friend and supporter, Krista Gross. She's a 3-time Realtor of the Year and a big fan of Cougar athletics. The only thing she enjoys more than supporting the Cougs is providing excellent service. Check her Google reviews to see how much her clients love her. You can find her online at KristaGross.com. That's Krista with a K. KristaGross.com. Go Cougs!
All right, we will have Kamie Ethridge coming up in just a minute, but first we're going to have Candace pull out the raffle winner. Again, our thanks to Zeppo's. Here's the certificate. Again, the certificate is good for up to 10 people on 2 lanes for 2 hours of bowling with shoes, 2 pizzas, and 10 bottomless cups for soda. You a good bowler, Candace? Have you ever bowled? Are you a good bowler?
Yeah, I think I'm a pretty solid bowler.
A pretty solid bowler. All right, well, let's get this. Kamie is shaking up the raffle tickets. Candace is going to read it in. So if you got a raffle ticket, pull it on out. We'll find out who is our winner today. All right, Candace, what is the last 4 numbers on that thing?
So the winner is whoever got 3356.
3356 for the last 4 numbers. We got ourselves a winner. All right, congratulations. All right, so Candace again. Let's give Candace a big hand. She was fantastic up here. She, again, was right here, part of your Cougar Basketball Hour with the head coach, Kamie Ethridge. And, again, our thanks to Zeppo's. Do such a great job. Again, part of a big support system here. Great service, great food, and where the Palouse comes to play and eat.
I told some of these tables my biggest problem in this would be finding 10 friends that would want to spend 2 hours with me, So I'm impressed if you can find 10 friends at that table back there. That's awesome. Good job.
That is fantastic. So, again, our thanks to Zeppos. Coach, again, we are getting set for another one of these gauntlets as we've got 5 games in 9 days, I think is what it ends up being. It all starts on Thursday against Portland. We then go to Loyola and play Loyola Marymount on Saturday. Monday we go to Corvallis, then we come back home and play on Thursday, and then we play again on Saturday. So again, it's a stretch here where we've got a bunch of games in a bunch of days. But I mean, again, I think a lot of the teams, if they don't have a bye, are going to have to do similar to the same thing in the conference. Just your thoughts on the way that schedule breaks up and how important this next week and a half, 2-week stretch is for this team.
Well, this all started with Oregon State. And we were supposed to play 2 games prior to Christmas.
Right.
Whatever, 19th, 21st. And then they told us, well, we can't play you. We go to Hawaii. We have a tournament in Hawaii. And we're like, this is West Coast Conference. And the West Coast Conference says, we're not going to get into it. Y'all figure out when you can play. And they wanted to play in December or whatever when we were in our own gauntlets of games. And so this was the next best thing. I think the other one that they offered a date when they were off. And then they wanted to play us, and I was like, that's not happening. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
So both of us have 3 games in this amount of time, and obviously we have to go up there. So nothing easy about that, but it shouldn't be on a Monday. We shouldn't have this, but that's just why that happened there.
Okay.
So normally it's just 2 games. I feel like we've had a hard stretch in that some of these teams that we've played have had off days prior to playing us, and that is a big advantage. Gonzaga being one of them. So we're gonna get some of that in February when we finally get an off day, and that'll help us, I think, at least recover. But for now, there is no recovery. We just have to try to practice as well as we can, not overuse our players. We got to have good rest. But they have to have unbelievable IQ to get the scout without great intensity in practices. That's the hard part. Last year's teams, the older experienced teams, could do that. This year's team hasn't always done that, but they did a great job against Santa Clara.
Yeah, and obviously you go one at a time. Portland coming here on Thursday. Don't want to dive too deep into the woods, but just a little brief bit on Portland, what you've seen from them on film so far.
I was telling one table over here, I think their body types and how they play and how physical they are is like Gonzaga. So Gonzaga treated us like little rag dolls and tossed us around at least the first half. And this team's going to come in. They're going to be physical. They're unique in how they play. They play a matchup zone, and it's difficult to even know if it's zone or man. They'll double the post. They press. No one else in the league is quite like Portland, so they have a great advantage in that. It's hard to play against. But that's who we play, and we've been really good against some zones. I think body-wise, we can match up with them a little bit, but they're a tough team, and clearly one of the best teams in this league.
When you scout teams, do you go on analytics? Do you go with what you see on film? Do you see what they're trending towards as far as what you've seen out of the last few games from them? Like, for instance, you classify big-time three-point shooters as snipers or even super snipers. Is that mainly on analytics? Is that mainly on what you see from them on film and whether or not they need to be wide open and get just set and do the little shimmy and shake before they shoot or they're catching ways? Or is it kind of all of that combined?
I'm just guessing, looking at your form, we would not be calling you a super sniper. I'm not exactly sure, but
I don't
I'm
think you would
sure.
either. Okay.
But I'm not going to try to
I will not
do
try
that.
and emulate that again.
But it's some analytics. I got my analytic guy over here who would like to nerd out and do it nonstop. But, there's an eye test too. And, yes, some you do previous games. But overall, you are what you are over the course of the time. I mean, you can get hot. But generally, if you're not just going to turn into a sniper, you're going to kind of be what you are. But, yes, you can figure out if people need more time to get it off. Those are the things that you can dive in, and if you do your job and do it well, you'll watch enough film to find those things out. And yes, you take some analytics for sure. You can definitely see, we'll play some teams that, Matt will stand up and say they won't shoot outside 10 feet. That is their limit. So we that's a plugger on our court. We'd call that person a plugger. And then a player kind of can do all things. So we've got those little terms for it. But, yeah, you find out if they're a little bit more right-hand drive, left shoulder in the post. I mean, you find out some of the things that they do over and over and over. And, again, just try to get our practice guys to do those exact things and see if we can, match it up well. But so much of players are similar. So many players are really good at the end of their dribble doing up and unders. So if we lunge at that, that'll really get all the coaches upset when we've told them to stay down at the end of the dribble and everybody jumps and then they step through and get layups. So that's something that's usually very much in scouts. And if you're on point, you'll stay on the ground and won't make those mistakes.
All right, again with Kamie Ethridge, we'll take another break. When we come back, we'll have more. Don't forget, Thursday night, it is going to be the Cougars taking on Portland from Beasley Coliseum. 6 o'clock your start time. We want to see you there at Beasley to help root on these Cougars. Back after this, it's Cougar Basketball Hour, live from Zeppo's from Learfield.
So we've always wanted a Cadillac Escalade,
but they're out of our price range.
So I started a podcast for my side hustle. All the kids are doing it.
Honey, you've got 7 likes.
All right. Hey, I'm still learning how to algorithm.
And that's not a verb.
Oh.
There's an easier way to score an Escalade. It's Northern Quest's $165,000 Cadillac Countdown. Play daily to enter. Grand prize drawing January 25th. Details at northernquest.com.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through!
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smartertogether. Member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Caden Wickersham, a pitcher on your Washington State University Cougar baseball team. I want to tell you about Krista Gross, a big supporter of mine. She's someone who's always there, helping me without being asked. Krista makes sure I have what I need to succeed, and she'll do the same thing for you. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, trust someone with a big heart and a winning track record. Find her online at KristaGross.com. That's Krista with a K, KristaGross.com.
I'm Krista Gross, your lifelong realtor. Find me online at KristaGross.com. That's Krista with a K, KristaGross.com.
Go Cougs.
Looking sharp has never been this much fun. Pullman's number
this
one
is
barber
break 5,
shop,
Johnny. I got one more after this.
Is more than just haircuts. It's an experience. Our seasoned barbers deliver precision haircuts, buzz cuts, and real straight razor hot towel shaves that'll leave you looking and feeling your absolute best. And while you're here, enjoy free shuffleboard, free pool, and free arcade games. WSU students and faculty receive 20% off any service every Thursday. Step into the Pullman Man Shop at 1025 East Main, where style meets good times. Walk-ins only. themanshops.com.
Well, we do welcome you back here to Zeppo's, your Cougar Basketball Hour with head coach of Washington State University basketball, Kamie Ethridge. Again, programming note for you, we won't be here next Monday since we will be in Corvallis, but plans are to be here on that Wednesday, January the 29th. So you can make your plans to be with us. We'll be here on the 29th as we've got, again, 3 games to have between now and then. The game at home against Portland, then at LMU, and at Oregon State. Coach, as we get ready for this next little stretch, again, just how was practice today, and how do you go about preparing when you've got the schedule that you have when it comes to practices? Does it take a little bit extra from the coaching staff to try and figure out what you want to do to set up this course of the next couple of weeks?
Well, I think the biggest issue here is, Portland's hard to scout because they're so different. It's not like they're like anyone else. They run some different things that no one else runs. They run quite a few things, and then you have to worry about their press, and then you have to worry about their matchup. But at the same time, we can't mimic those things. You can kind of have the guys press. You can kind of try to get them to do a zone, but they're very unique in how they play that zone. So just have to be good with the ball and move it well and take care of it and have great fundamentals and footwork and patience and yet at the same time take some chances and beat, it's high risk, high reward. You can beat the press, you can get some easy baskets as well. So, but yeah, today, we wanted to get up and down a little bit. I don't know if we got up as much as we wanted to, but tried to get up going pretty hard today because we are going to take tomorrow off. We're going to watch some film, but we're going to take it off just feel like with so much practice, then on Wednesday play, light practice, play, light practice, play. I mean, that's brutal, and just don't think we need the wear and tear on our bodies. And I think it's a good time to probably give a second day off this week. Took yesterday off, so I think it was a good time to this week is a good time to try to just. It's going to be key. We didn't want to be playing on the 8th day. If we didn't take that today off, it would be playing on the 8th day, that third game on the 8th day, and we've got to get a little rest in there.
Yeah, again, with Coach Ethridge here for Cougar Basketball Hour. What'd you think of Candace? She's a talker,
I know.
isn't she?
I was going to bring her up again, but she's a talker, and she is, you just get her personality, but what a tremendous, again, talent, potential. What she's going to become is just going to be unbelievable if she just stays with it and keeps coming in every day and early workouts and getting more work done outside our practices. But one thing that if you listen to her talk and are around her, you realize, boy, I bet she's a really good recruiter. And she is an amazing recruiter. She's great with people that we bring onto campus. So she just is a big influence and has a lot of she's kind of charismatic and has charisma to her, and we always talk about that. And she has a great ability to lead in a positive way. But, it's that tricky thing. If she's not on point, she might take people the wrong direction. And we talk a little bit about that. And I just am so proud of how she's been this last week and how focused she is. And, again, the sky's the limit for her. She can be as good as she wants to be, and again, you heard her talk. She's an amazing communicator and really, really great recruiter and great friend for the people on the team.
Anybody else that we haven't talked about that maybe we should be talking about that either shined either over the weekend that you saw out on the court or maybe in practice that's been doing really well for you?
Well, let's just bring up some good news is Shasha's back.
Okay. That's fantastic.
She got cleared today, which is shocking that she got cleared today by the doctor.
Okay.
But she's going to be able to be at practice, and she's going to get a workout tomorrow. And I don't know how she'll feel and do, but I have never seen someone more determined to tell the doctor what is going to happen and what happened to her knee, and that she was not going to miss any more time. And evidently he listened because he released her. And again, just rehabbed great. Got her strength back, got with Zach, our strength coach, has done everything she can do to get back. And again, just we're so fortunate it was this injury and something we can manage. And so that's the best news. Our team is showing up and practicing hard and I think gaining confidence. That's what happens. Good things start happening. We're not turning the ball over. There's so many good things that we've taken a step in the right direction. So, and defensively, we're doing so many things. So it's not really – I just love the makeup of our team and how different we can be and how versatile we can be and effective. And that's to me, is why we're going to continue to get better over the next 7 or 8 weeks.
All right, one more quick break and then back for probably seconds for the last segment. But we'll be back with you one more time. It's your Cougar Basketball Hour with Kamie Ethridge, live from Zuppos on Learfield.
Bro, you go hard for the WSU Cougs.
What do you mean?
You're literally wearing a Coug jersey that you bought from the Coug store with your Coug debit card. And you don't stop talking about how every time you use your card, GISA donates to the Cougar Athletic Fund.
I guess I do go pretty hard for my Cougs.
If you go hard for your Cougs, get your WSU card today at GISA.com. Go Cougs!
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Hi, I'm Kyle Thornton, linebacker and captain of your Washington State University Cougar football team. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, I recommend my friend and supporter, Krista Gross. She is a 3-time Realtor of the Year and a big fan of Cougar athletics. The only thing she enjoys more than supporting the Cougs is providing excellent service. Check her Google reviews to see how much her clients love her. You can find her online at KristaGross.com. That's Krista with a K, KristaGross.com. Go Cougs!
This is my barbershop. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
Welcome to the Pullman Man Shop, Pullman's #1 barbershop, where our seasoned barbers give you precision haircuts, buzz cuts, and straight razor shaves so sharp when we're done, your face will look like the day you were born. While we're working on that dome of yours, enjoy free shuffleboard, free pool, free arcade games, and ATVs. That's right, maggot. You can play while we turn that head of hair into something presentable. We'll fix it. Can't and won't are not words we'll use. The Pullman Man Shop, 1025 East Main. Visit themanshops.com.
Well, Steve Grubbs along with the head coach, Kamie Ethridge, back for the final 60 seconds or so. Yeah, that's her, Kamie Ethridge. It's her Kamie Ethridge basketball hour. Coach, again, another great night at Zeppo's. Can't do it without these folks here and the support. And I guess the big thing now to take away from this is Thursday night, be at Beasley Coliseum.
Need everybody there. First off, there's nothing going on tonight, right? And appreciate you guys coming out since there's no big game on or anything like that.
Right.
And clearly we can do both. We can watch those games and be here, but always appreciate these people in this room and anyone listening. Means so much to our team and our program. And yes, gosh, this is a game where we really need people in the stands. We need an advantage. Someone go get some students and get them to the gym. I wish they would just come and support us because we need that badly from the student section. But excited for our team, and we need a big crowd. Doesn't seem like we've had very many home games, so it's our turn to get some home games in here, and certainly Thursday night's a big one for us.
Yeah, this Thursday and then the following Thursday as well. 6 o'clock against the University of Portland. Coach, as always, thanks.
Great. Appreciate it. Go Cougs.
Thanks, and good to all of you folks here. You've been listening to Cougar Basketball Hour live from Zeppo's from Learfield.
You've been listening to the Cougar Basketball Hour.